In just a matter of weeks, thousands of targets across Iran were hit: missile bases, naval fleets, and weapons factories. But this wasn't just another aircraft campaign. This was something far more calculated. A systematic dismantling of an entire war machine. And at the center of it all was the US Navy. Today, we're breaking down how a modern military force can take apart a missile threat step by step, and why this kind of operation could redefine the future of warfare. For decades, Iran built its military strategy around one thing: missile. Not just a few launch systems, but a massive network of launchers, underground bunkers, and hidden production facilities spread across the country. Their doctrine was simple: if war ever came, overwhelm the enemy with sheer volume. Ballistic missile, cruise missile, swarms of drones. And early on, they proved they could do exactly that. Waves of launches designed to saturate defenses and create chaos. But there was one critical weakness. Accuracy wasn't the priority. And that gave the United States a strategic opening. Because instead of chasing every incoming missile, they focused on destroying the system behind them. But before anything could be destroyed, Iran had to be blinded. Modern warfare doesn't begin with explosions. It begins with information. Or more precisely, the removal of it. The first phase of the operation focused on electronic warfare. Advanced systems were deployed to disrupt radar, jam communications, and interfere with command networks. To an operator on the ground, the battlefield would have looked completely distorted, signals appearing where nothing existed, targets moving in impossible directions, false threats filling the screen. This is known as spoofing. Instead of simply blocking radar, it feeds it lies. And while defenses react to those false signals, the real threat moves undetected. During this phase, critical command and control systems began to fail. Communication between units slowed, then stopped. Coordination broke down. And without reliable data, even the most advanced defense systems become ineffective. By the time the first major strikes began, large parts of the network were already compromised. The battlefield had gone quiet. But only on one side. With the defenses disrupted, the next phase moved to the sea. Iran's naval strategy was built around asymmetry. Instead of large fleets, they relied on speed, numbers, and unpredictability. Fast attack boats, naval mines, coastal missile batteries, all designed to control key waterways, especially the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important shipping routes in the world. If disrupted, it could affect global oil supply within days. Neutralizing this threat was critical. The response was swift and coordinated. Naval assets targeted key bases, logistics hubs, and launch points along the coastline. Fast attack craft were destroyed before they could deploy. Mine storage facilities were located and neutralized. Coastal defense systems were taken offline. This wasn't just about winning a naval battle. It was about removing the ability to threaten the sea entirely. Once that capability was gone, control shifted. Shipping lanes became safer. And a major piece of the overall strategy collapsed. But the most important phase was still to come, because destroying launch sites alone isn't enough. Missile can be moved. Launchers can be replaced. If you really want to stop a missile program, you don't target the weapons. You target the system that creates them. This meant expanding the scope of the operation. Factories that produced missile components. Facilities that handled fuel production. Storage depots holding critical parts. Transportation networks moving equipment between sites. All of it became part of the target list. Not hundreds. Thousands. Each strike designed to remove another piece of the chain. And slowly, the impact became visible. Launch frequency began to drop. Coordination weakened. Supply lines broke down. Even if some launch systems remained intact, they were no longer supported. Without fuel, without parts, without communication, they became ineffective. This is the difference between damage and dismantling. Damage can be repaired. A dismantled system takes years to rebuild. And that's what made this strategy so effective. It didn't rely on a single decisive moment. it created a chain reaction, each phase weakening the next. Electronic disruption led to defensive failure. Defensive failure allowed precision strikes. Precision strikes destroyed infrastructure. And without infrastructure, the entire system collapsed. Military analysts often describe this kind of outcome as a functional defeat. Not total destruction, but the loss of the ability to operate. And in modern warfare, that can be even more significant. Because wars today aren't just fought with weapons. They're fought with systems. Networks of information, production, and coordination. Break the system, and the weapons become irrelevant. So what does all of this mean? Did the US Navy completely eliminate the missile threat? Not permanently. No system is ever truly gone. Given enough time, resources, and determination, it can be rebuilt. But in the short term, the impact is undeniable. The ability to launch large-scale attacks was significantly reduced. Naval threats were weakened. Production capabilities were disrupted. And for now, the balance has shifted. But history has shown us something important. Every time a strategy is defeated, a new one emerges. And the next phase of conflict is often shaped by what was learned in the last. Which means this isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. Because as warfare evolves, so do the methods used to fight it. And the question is no longer just who has the most weapons. It's who can control the system behind them. If you want to understand how modern warfare is really changing, make sure you stay updated, because the next conflict might look completely different.